Good morning, students. Class 10th. I had started the chapter The Thief Story and I am continuing with it on page number 10. You can open your books and please follow. I am reading it out and I am going to explain it also. Anil was asleep. A beam of moonlight stepped over the balcony and fell on the bed. I sat up on the floor, considering the situation. He was thinking how to rob Anil. If I took the money, I could catch the 10:30 express to Lucknow. Slipping out of the blanket, I crept up to the bed. Whose bed? Anil's bed. Anil was sleeping very peacefully. His face was clear and unlined. Unlined means there were no wrinkles on his face. He was a very simple kind of a person. Even I had more marks on my face, though mine were mostly scars. Scars because sometimes police must have handcuffed him. So those were the scars on his face. My hand slid under the mattress. He put his hand under the mattress, searching for the notes. When I found them, I drew them out without a sound. Anil sighed in his sleep and turned on his side towards me. I was startled because Anil turned his face to the other side and quickly crawled out of the room. Crawling, you understand? Walking on both the legs and the hands. When I was on the road, I began to run. I had the notes at my waist. He had kept his notes in his pant, where he tucked his pant or belt, held there by the strings of my pajamas. I slowed down to a walk and counted the notes. 600 rupees in 50s. There were 50 rupees notes and total counted to 600 rupees. I could live like an oil-rich Arab for a week or two. Now see, only 600 rupees. It was a big sum for those olden days. When I reached the station, I did not stop at the ticket office. I had never bought a ticket in my life because he was a thief. How could he buy a ticket? But dashed straight to the platform. The Lucknow Express was just moving out. The train had still to pick up speed and I should have been able to jump into one of the carriages, but I hesitated. For some reason I can't explain, and I lost the chance to get away. So he could not go to Lucknow because his inner conscience said something in his mind that he was doing a wrong thing with Anil. When the train had gone, I found myself standing alone on the deserted platform. Deserted means he has left the platform. I had no idea where to spend the night. I had no friends. Believing that friends were more trouble than help, and I did not want to make anyone curious by staying at one of the small hotels near the station. The only person I really knew well was the man I had robbed. He knew only Anil and he had robbed. Leaving the station, I walked slowly through the bazaar. This is the narrator. This is Hari Singh as the narrator. In my short career as a thief, I had made a study of men's faces when they had lost their goods. The greedy man, this is very important. The greedy man showed fear. The rich man showed anger. When he was robbed, the greedy man, when he is robbed, he will show fear. But when a rich man is robbed, he will show anger. The poor man showed acceptance. The poor man does not create a hue and cry. He will just accept what has been done with him. He will never do anything. But I knew that Anil's face, when he discovered the theft, would show only a touch of sadness. The third part goes with Anil also. The poor man showed only acceptance. So Anil, he thought he would also accept acceptance. When he discovered the theft, would show only a touch of sadness, nothing more than that. Not for the loss of money, but for the loss of trust. See, children, trust is very important in life. It is very difficult to create trust with your friend unless and until your friend has trust in you, he will never tell you anything. Trust is more valuable than money. I found myself in the Maidan and sat down on a bench. The night was chilly, it was early November, and a light drizzle added to my discomfort. It started drizzling, he had no home, he was on the road, no roof on his head, and it was very discomfortable for him. Soon it was raining very heavily. My shirt and pyjamas stuck to my skin, and a cold wind blew the rain across my face. I went back to the bazaar. So the main summary of this is that so many thoughts are coming in his mind, but what he is thinking is, now that he had robbed him, he wanted to go back to him, say sorry to him. These are all the thoughts coming into his mind. He hurried back to his home, to the room, feeling very nervous, and he thought that he was still undetected, means Anil does not know that he had been robbed, and he crept to the head of the bed, and he put the notes under his mattress, but the notes were all wet because of that rain. I remained still for a minute, then my hand found the edge of the mattress and he slipped it under it with the notes. Now see the concluding part of the chapter. This is the irony. I awoke late next morning to find that Anil had already made the tea. In the morning when he woke up, he saw Anil waiting for him at the tea. He stretched out his hands towards me. There was a 50-rupee note between his fingers. He was holding the note in his fingers. My heart sank. Hari Singh said, I was now detected. Now he thought that Anil has come to know that he had been robbed. I thought I had been discovered. I made some money yesterday, he explained. Now you will be paid regularly. Means now Anil was giving him the news that he will be paid regularly from thereafter, because he had earned some more money. My spirits rose. But when I took the note, I saw it was still wet from the night's rain. He gave me that 50-rupee note, and I knew that it was the same note that he had dropped from Anil. Today we will start writing sentences. This is spoken by Anil because he was teaching him language. He knew, but neither his lips nor his eyes showed anything. This is the greatness of a man. He did not show Hari that he knew that he had been robbed by him. I smiled at Anil in my most appealing way, and the smile came by itself without any effort. Even I just threw back the smile back to him because he was from inside, he was feeling so guilty